You're just in time. Saved you a seat for The Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find aimed at male self improvement. Brother, you need some more love in your life. That has to be the most cliche way to begin a podcast. But it's just with all this negativity and all the bad news we're getting every single day we wake up, for those of us that are even still watching the news, I mean, you got to keep up with world current events, at least somewhat, just so you don't end up with that living under a rock syndrome. And the more that you do that, the more, I don't know, these doom and gloom vibes pile up on you. So it is within any man's best interest for himself who is trying to live his best life that he is able to create and cultivate. How about most importantly, we'll get into this, protect, safeguard, love for both himself and his own existence. Eh, You don't want to rely on anyone else for this kind of power. I will say the power of love. It really is, though. You need a great baseline to begin with is yes, of course, I'm gonna say it. I have to say it, bro. It's gratitude. Being grateful for all the things that any stranger, it's not really any stranger, it's a lot of strangers. I really do believe this because it could always be worse. And you can say that about any situation in life. But when you are applying that to your own, then anyone under you, I'm gonna freeze it. I'm gonna freeze it real quick, brother. You're not that guy. If you're thinking to yourself right now, Kumo doesn't know me. Ain't nobody got it worse than me, brother. That is not. That is. I highly doubt that. I don't think that's true. And so, for all the people that are under you, and I'm willing to bet there are plenty, they would kill you to be okay. Fine, maybe that's a little dramatic. Maybe it wouldn't be, actual murder and malice, but they would hurt you. All right. They would, I don't know, prank or troll you if some kind of, genie appeared in their life and they targeted you. You were just, I don't know, you were walking down the street, walking your dog, trying to go get some coffee, doing some stuff, and that crosshair landed on your head. And the genie was like, yo, take this dude out. And like all the stuff he has, that's like, it's cool. This is good stuff. This is some dope stuff. I'm just going to give it all to you. That's where you start. That's your baseline right there. Like if you're breathing, that one's huge. That one's so crazy because how many, I mean, you try to put a number on this. It's absolutely ridiculous. How many people are not around anymore who genuinely wish they had but one more day to do whatever they wanted to for just another 24 hours, but they can't because they are just not breathing anymore. They have run out of breaths, run out of time, run out of life. Not you. You have it, and you got plenty. Now we keep it rolling. So you breathe and you alive, and you're still waking up every single day. That's gonna end eventually, but you don't have any control over this. I mean, my best piece of advice for the uncontrollable aspects of any, man's reality is if you can't do anything about it, brother, then it doesn't really have anything to do with you. You can ponder it, you can even let it make you sad from time to time. But when it comes down to it, it's out of your hands. That's okay. What is in your hands is the time that you do have. So you got life and you got time. How precious are these two things? These are two resources slowly but surely dissipating out of our beings, being like evaporating out of your reality little by little. To make the most of it, to seize it, is to see the love in it. That's because I say that, bro, because this is something to be loved. It's it's where you are getting more of life and you are continuing to wake up and you do have more time, but all of the experiences that are filling these time frames and these days of your life, whatever your name is, a day in the life of, it's everything that's happening is, stuff that you don't want this. You don't want it to be happening like this. This is a really crappy experience. I'm sad. I'm so sad. I am feeling super depressed, not healthy. Okay, muffin top got some developing some extra layers right here around the abdomen. I'm talking about myself, by the way, and etc. etc. Okay, but brother, I want you to pivot and look at your life in the way where you have all of that time in life is actually opportunity for you to do something about it. That's the fact of the matter, fact of the situation. And you have that power. Okay? If you are able to not let it depress you. See, a lot of it we're getting okay, this is a little woo woo, but we're getting super mental on today's episode. It's very internal. It's all up here, brother. It's all up here because this is how you're going to perceive everything that is happening to you and everything that you want to do every single day. So that means if you can find the love in it, if you can find the love in the days that you're waking up to, your life is going to get infinitely better. It's free. You don't got to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. This is just your life as it is happening to you right now. And you think about, well, use today. I don't know, because you know what I'm saying, brother. You start your day with me. That's dope. Or are you ending your day? Are you in the middle of your day? Okay, you listen to me on lunch break right now. Wherever you are during your day right now, you have to think about, okay, time check. Well, I mean, I'm sitting here, got some more time. Okay. Um, like you can pinch yourself. You want to make sure that's fine. You can double check. Okay, no, I'm definitely alive for sure. No, not doing the zombie thing, the undead vampire thing. Still human. And then to in order to continue being one, you're going to need some basic necessities. This is basic survival for all of us. And if you have that, bro, that's awesome. That is really, really awesome. I cannot state that more dramatically. I wish I could. It is absolutely, it's the bee's knees because that is food, that's shelter, that's water, that's electricity. That's, what would we do without Wi Fi? That's the internet. Cellular data. I had this young king pull up on me and was like, "Hey, yeah, I don't have I got cellular data. That's how I'm on the internet. That's still fire. That's still awesome. You're connected. You have this tiny pocket portal to I don't know whatever you want that exists in the world. That's what you have. Okay, how is that only in the 21st century, right? Only in 2025. I just went from warm meals and being clothed, and when you turn on your faucet it works, to all of the collective data and information from all of human history at your fingertips. You want to talk about contrast, okay? You have all of that available to you, brother. That is a lot to love. It really is. It is this feeling, this air of gratitude. It could be a situation where I didn't have any one of these things. To be missing even a single one of them. Well, I mean, the two precursors, those are a given. You need. If you don't have time, you're probably not alive. You know what I mean? If you're not alive, you probably don't have time. So you need those two. But then after that, it's like, I mean, yeah, no water is tough. No water is so tough. Drinking and washing. Like both are. I mean, drinking is definitely more important, but they're both up there. I mean, if you go, I've been there a few days without a shower, and then it's just like it's not even other people. It's like I can't do this. I can't. I got to get in there. Okay, and you get super clean. You're doing that once a day. It feels great. that is a wonderful privilege to, and another thing to love and be grateful for in this life. Now, after everything that I've said so far and everything that I've named in terms of what I know for a fact you can be grateful for these things too. If you are, you're already set up for whatever you want to do after that in life. You remember, you need these things if you want to have a great life. It's like, oh yeah, everyone. I hear everybody. Okay, maybe except you and me, because like you and me are chilling right here, right now. But everyone else is talking about the discipline, the motivation, the work ethic, the effort, the concentration, the what else we got here? The masculinity, cold showers. Okay, the 5 a.m. club. Um, dunking your face in ice. What else we got here? Black tape over the lips, something like that. So much. Okay, all this productivity hacks and tips and whatnot, and meditate and be one with uh, nature and the universe and whatnot. Astrology, you know, all of these other things that people get so caught up on that it's supposed to give you a better life. Oh my god, bro, what you have right now in front of you is enough. This is enough. I took the time. I was very careful with my intro today, okay, to help you paint the, how could you not love these things? There's plenty of things for you to love. I just said the most common ones. You have them, brother. You have them. Use them, okay? The utility of this is to create your hopes and dreams. That's what you're putting on all of this. That's what you're resting on. Right? It's the foundation of your life. You can build off of it whatever you want. This is true. Okay, now, all right, we'll go a little bit deeper now, because I think the most common rebuttal to what I just said was, well, yeah, sure, but I'm a slave. Okay, so slave to what? Okay, we'll talk about it. You got your typical 9 to 5, but not all of us do a 9 to 5. Okay, you could be self-employed. All right, you could have a trade. You could be a business owner. You could be clocking in 60, 70, 80 hour weeks. Good lord, brother, 70 and up is like, okay, that's the grind. But at least 40. But in this economy, who is getting away without 40 hours every single week? And that's like a lot of time that's being sapped up. And then you only have so much energy. You're only you're only feeling so fresh and crisp for a certain amount of time every single day. For most of us, after the caffeine wears off, it's long gone now. We get pretty. This cannot be just me. We get pretty zombified as the day goes on. Oh yeah, okay. I like self-improve then, right? Quite the challenge. How is it to then live your best life after that? Okay. You have to figure out how much time you are honestly willing to devote when you are operating in your own free time. I mean, this is after your obligations and the demands of modernity have been fulfilled, right? Like, oh yes, the system, right? All of us bowing down to quote unquote, you know, what is this? This is basically the Matrix. Okay. And then it's like you plug in and you do your 40, and it's like, I'm doing it well enough that you can't fire me, or uh, hopefully you can't fire me. And then you clock out and you unplug and you go home. And that's like, you got a few hours back to yourself. For all my kings who are doing more than 40 hours, y'all might be laughing your butts off right now, because it's like, I'm out there all day. What is this guy talking about? I'm on the construction yard, I'm on the rig, I'm out on the farm, I own it. I freaking own the whole thing. This belongs to me. I am the founder. There is no such thing as me off the clock. And then you got jobs where it's like, how fun is this? Your shift is over, and then you get to take your work home with you and do some more, at your place. It's pretty wild. It gets pretty crazy. And I totally feel that. But that needs to happen so that Now, ready? Once again, that needs to happen so that you are able to sustain and maintain the opportunity, the finest opportunity of your life. What is that? The ability to do so. There needs to be love there. There has to be. Because I want you to see it like this. I know it's most of us. I mean, I'm right there with you. It's very easy to conclude to oneself, this really sucks. This is awful. I am simply, I feel like I'm dying. Soul sucking. That one, everyone uses that phrasing now. I am just getting older. My life is passing me by. A 1 week vacation. What? Till I'm 65? Is it even 65 anymore? Aren't they pushing it up? Isn't it like 70 now? Aren't they talking about maybe 80? Okay, we can. I hope we can all clearly, plainly see they're really just trying to push it to eternity. That's what it is. That's the new, how long, what I'm saying? Like a little kid born in the year 2050. So how long am I going to be working for? Forever. That's what we're trying to, I don't call me a theorist. Call me a C word theorist. I don't know. I haven't checked YouTube guidelines recently. This is going on the tube. I'm actually trying to get this out to other platforms as well. But the main one is the tube. So I'm not trying to, what I'm saying? Like give my content a chance before I get, for the algorithm police is just like, dox this man. Okay. Get this out of here. Ban him. All right. So I hope that this reaches a few ears and eyes before that happens. So I'll say a C theorist. I know you feel me on that, bro. That they're trying to push it to forever. Holy schmoly, forever is a very long time. Thankfully, you and I will not live for forever. It's just not happening. I have a mentor who is just like, trust me. He's funny sometimes. He was like, trust me. You got to trust me on this. You're not going to be around for forever. So there is an end to all of this. Well, thank God. But that doesn't mean until you get to the end, you wouldn't be able to love it so much that you could have a great time living it and doing it until you finish, until you get all the way there at the very end. Why not? Why not let it be like that? Could you do it like that? Yes, of course you can. Yes, of course you absolutely can. So that means it's on you to create a life that is conducive to serving you and making you feel freaking great, bro. It's like, because we're still on survival, but let me get off of survival now because it's I've made it very abundantly clear. I hope that once you got that down, that's great. Yep, I should love this because it's why I'm here. But then afterwards, what to do? And then okay, so like this is where it gets crazy because you got a lot of guys that are like, well, what am I gonna do with the rest of that time? I think I will sit somewhere, probably in his living room at his apartment, maybe, okay, studio, all right, for the big ballers, okay, the baller kings out there, you sitting on a yacht, all right, I don't know, some kind of mansion, something like that, all right, surrounded by some baddies, I don't know, bro, you do you, live your best life, okay, we all about monogamy here at the Pillars of Man. That is a whole different episode, so I'm gonna digress right there, but you are sitting somewhere and you're off the clock. Maybe it's a day off. You're just chilling. And then like the windows are kind of closed, curtains too, just you don't leave. Like just screens, lots of streaming, lots of I mean, I gotta know what happens next. And the next episode plays and then it happens. And you were like, that wasn't even that great. Is it just me or is it getting worse? I mean, I think that's a generational thing. We all say that the best of the best is what we grew up with. That's just like, that's never gonna, right? The old school versus the new school. That's an eternal clash right there. But the point is, if that's all you got, if that's all you're doing, and it doesn't feel that great, and you feel very unfulfilled, and it's very unsatisfying, and you're just like, man, like there's got to be more to life than this. Well, there absolutely is. It just requires you. It requires you. All right, ready? not necessarily to move and not necessarily to, physically, geographically relocate, but it will require you to leave. That's for sure. You got to break out of that. You got to try and get out of your usual routines that have become so mundane, monotonous. I do this all the time. God, this is crazy. I know it so well. I know exactly, it's like the back of your hand. You know the outcome, you know the effect, however pleasurable. How should I say this? I'm on the tube. I got to put this right. I got to put this right. However climactic. Okay. No, brother, I'm not talking about the plot. Some of us are, okay, like from one man to another, a little bit less of that, a little less of that. No, I know. It's like, you can pull it up so easily. 4K. Hold up. Let me go to the settings. Put this in slow motion. Oh, good God! It's yes, it's quite the sight. But brother, no, bro. We gotta lock in. And how you do that is you gotta give those things up temporarily. You gotta chill, stop with those things, relax, and focus on maybe the exploration and the actualization of capacities and capabilities and functions that you have in you. Now, I want to show you a deeper layer of love right here. We established that your life is it's great because you have one. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it, bro. You have one. It's got what you want. Great, food and sustenance, and some scantily clad material from time to time. Oh Lord, God Himself looking down on us, just like, God dang it, how did this happen? Well, I mean, He wouldn't be asking that, but you know what I mean, bro. It's not looking good at the pearly gates. You want to take a break from all of that and shift it over to, how about I work on me? Okay, the the foundation of life that you have that I want you to love and I don't want you to take for granted, and I'm like, I'm repeatedly shoving into your face today, because I just want you to like walk away remembering that the grand takeaway for today is, because you have, like, no matter how bad, how awful, how poopy things are going on for you right now, you still have the opportunity. That opportunity is gold. You still have the chance to make something fantastic happen off of that. It just requires you. You're gonna have to do some shifting and maneuvering right here, brother. You got to change it around. No. I mean, technically yes. How about both? You got to also change it up, where you, if you are kind of low energy and you try to get in better shape, and you really like, you got trouble with that discipline, and I've always been a pretty lazy guy, you know it's quite the motivation. Survival motivation. I mean, that's why most of us clocking in, clocking out, clocking in, clocking out, because it's like, if I don't do that, I don't even get, what I'm saying, the scrolling, the internet search queries, okay, the whatever I watch, whatever I do, a little shopping on Amazon Prime. I, I am a victim. I'm a victim of this as well. Oh God, I just can't stop myself from adding it to the cart, something like that. And that is, those are all, blessings to be grateful for. In the moment that you try to start swapping these things out for, exercise, okay, understanding yourself as a human being, what is it that you really want to do in this world? It doesn't have to be that crazy. Let it get crazy. Well, I mean, not too insane, not like you're going to jail, bro. No. You know, you can, don't let it harm you, and don't let it harm anybody else. But then, other than that, you're good to go. And so I would say, what is it? You can absolutely start from this year, you know here we go, 2026 on the horizon, and we got incoming New Year's resolutions like crazy. This is going to be a lot. So many. How many though will last throughout the year 2026? It's the real test right there. And maybe you want yours to be, yeah, I want to get in shape. All right. Used to, yeah, way back in my day. Yeah, I'm allowed to say that. I feel like I'm old enough. Okay, core millennial right here. All right, I can say that. I can say, back in my day, I used to look good. I used to look pretty good. You know what I'm saying? The lovely ladies down at the I don't know where the pub. Okay, or the club. I mean, do y'all do y'all still go nowadays? Hmm. That's an interesting survey I should put up later. And you want to get back to that. Okay. You want to get back to that. And you may want to make a little bit more money. Okay? That doesn't drive you insane. That doesn't want to make you kind of like you know, stop breathing. You know what I mean? You want to do something that has nothing to do with money. Trying to pick up a hobby, trying to invest in yourself, you know, like no, really actual investments, stocks, real estate, get your head in the game, get some skin in the game, as my mentor said. Get, try and just, see what's going on with you. Wow, I thought it was a rut. Now it's been a couple years. This rut is slowly, solidifying into just my overall life. That's no, man. You don't gotta tolerate that. You can do so much better. You don't have to let it, you don't have to let yourself exist in this way. No. To get out of that rut, I mean, well, what is it really that's bothering you? If you need professional medical help, absolutely seek it out and get the help that you need. Um, I'm always gonna back any guy who uh, is acknowledging and admitting that he wants to get healthy and he can't do it himself. So no, so get out there. But if you don't feel like that's you, and it's really more of a self and an individual lifestyle thing, then look at the basics, look at the fundamentals of just right the human condition, brother. How much sun? How much water? How much sleep? What's your diet? What's the nutrition? Do you supplement? You want maybe you know what I'm saying? A little multivitamin, some fish oil, okay, some collagen, right? All of these things, investments in yourself, just to help you wake up and just be more energized and feel better, so you can do better. You do better, you will ultimately have better, brother. And I mean, if you like, the deeper you go into this, the crazier it gets. And I mean crazy results. I mean crazy outcomes of fortune, of good health, of great experiences. No, like, we can do be even better than that. I really want to get at some of the ultimate, some of the ultimate wonders of life for a man. What is that truly? That's peace. That's peace, bro. That's joy. That's meaning. We got purpose here, fulfillment. These are the I believe some of these are the fine ingredients that men need in their own engines. I feel like we have three, something like that: the mind, the heart, and the soul, brother. You need stuff. You need good food for all three of these. I mean, you go to the gym. Watch yourself slowly, surely get stronger. It's so crazy. We are all slabs of marble walking around with hidden Greek statues. I don't care. I don't care how old you are, and I don't care what kind of genetic setup you rockin'. You want to get jacked, you can get jacked. Okay, fine. It might not be like, Thor or Clark Kent jacked, but your own version of jacked is so worthwhile to pursue. And I know it's great to see that's getting a lot more popular nowadays. More and more guys, uh, you know, going out there to hit it, for the gains, for the guns, especially when the sun's out. Let's go. It's not even for the ladies. Technically, what is not for the ladies if you're going to talk about male endeavor? But it's okay. It's okay. We don't got to go there. All right. We can just stay here. All right. In the bro space of self improvement. And there is so much to improve. The more you improve, the more you will love your life, bro. That's what it really comes down to. You wanna swap it all out, right? You feel me on this, big guy? You have to. You are substituting for less of the overthinking and less of the rumination and less of the disbelief and the doubt. You need less pessimism and cynicism. Like, what are you consuming mentally and virtually? That's a huge one right there. You familiar with black pill content? Oh, no, maybe you're not. That's a good thing. I'm gonna say, yeah, I say that. I say that here at the Pills Man. All the pills have their function. If you're familiar, if you like know what I'm talking about, that's a whole different episode. So I'm not gonna get specific right here. But I will quickly note the black pill. Oh, bro, it's very difficult to be positive. It's really challenging to stay hopeful, okay, and see the pleasures and the joys and the opportunities of your life, the worthwhile challenges and difficulties to pursue as a man for the rest of your life. Really hard to look at existence like this when, the black pill, aka just all of the worst parts of humanity and the masculine condition that many of us could dissect and examine. You gotta try to get away from all those things. It's good to know about them. It's very good to be aware, to have the knowledge and the wisdom, and to right, fend off ignorance. Yes, of course. But at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to what you do. And that's why you need to put yourself in the best position possible to attempt the action. That it has to happen for at least a little bit of time. And that's enough. That's enough to build off of there. I love the book example. I'll drop it real quick because the book example is actually really good. A lot of you want to talk about passive income. You want to talk about a side hustle. You want to talk about something that anyone can really get into. Okay, not right. Lord knows we are not all Shakespeare and Tolstoy and Frost and whatnot. Bukowski. Like super gifted and whatnot. You don't need to be. You got something you want to write about. Write about it. And if you want to make it into a book, make it into a book. But people think about a book, right? And that's like, what? I'm not sitting here with like a Lord of the Rings sized novel in my head. That's not right. That's not feasible, and it isn't. No, I mean like for real though. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like you can try. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen like that for most humans that want to write a book. However, 30 minutes a day. You set the clock, set the timer, bro. You make it like super sharp. Like, yo, once the 30 minutes is up, the can is cracking, my feet are elevating, the TV is turning on, and I hope my home team's winning. That's fine. Because you still gave it some time. And you give it some time every single day. So in 1 year, do you think you'll be around for another year? Don't answer that question. I'm gonna answer it for you. You definitely gonna be around for another year. See, a lot of guys thinking about that. Like, I don't even think it's gonna be 1 year. I think it's gonna be like a lot of years. And then it's right, and then it's like, oh God, a lot of years? How many more decades? Decades more of this, of how I'm already living, but it doesn't have to be. That's see, how like that should be very joy inducing. You gotta love that apart. You gotta love that part about your life. And I say that because it's just, if you want to, you can. If you're being stopped, you are stopping you. That's what's really happening here. 30 minutes a day creates, my buddy said, that's going to be longer. I just in terms of sheer material and word count, that's going to be longer than most novels. That's so crazy. I mean, I think it's a beautiful display of the compound effect, and it's another gorgeous, showcase of consistency. But if you don't love it, you won't, brother. You know what I'm saying? If you don't love it, how are you going to expect to be there for it every single day? Oh, then maybe that's not the problem. Maybe the dilemma is not the love for the actions or the situation. Maybe what's going on here at a deeper level is an absence of love for yourself. That's something for you to figure out. You really got to get into this. You are maybe sitting there and thinking about, I mean, I need to care about myself more. And it's like, I know how difficult that is when you're in a tough spot in life. You're in a really poor situation and everyone around you doesn't really care. I mean, they're just so preoccupied with their own realities. It's difficult to. Or maybe you don't even really have anybody like that in your life. And it's like, male loneliness epidemic, the way of the lone wolf and the path of the lone king. And it gets tough. It gets real tough out there. I feel that, brother. I feel that. But you will always have the power and the agency to provide that for yourself. That is what's truly available to you. It's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And as hard as that is, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's so necessary if you're serious about experiencing a better life as soon as possible. Okay, like today. Okay, sleep on it. Sleep on it one time tomorrow, and then for the rest of your life, all the way up until the point of living your best life. This is how it starts. I just want to take a little bit of time today to remind you, brother, that's what you got. You have all of this. Everything I covered today. You have it, which means, the kind of the next step for you to really start getting some traction right here is you just like figure out what it is, one thing that you would like to chase. It can be something you've never done before. It can be something that you always wanted to do. You think about it and you want to, give it some time, explore a little bit. I don't have the first clue. Yep. That's where the internet comes in. All right. That's something, what I'm saying? What is it? How does it go? Born too early for the cosmic, adventures. Born too late for the exploration of the planet. Born just in time for ChatGPT. I mean, we take what we can get. Take what we can get here in the 21st century. And you, brother, I would ask you to seize it and you do something with it. And you know what I'm saying? It's going to be really dope. It's going to be super dope for you. And you're looking for a space on the internet where another fellow is doing the same. And, that's kind of what I do here. I talk about anything and everything that goes into all of this. Because you're watching The Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find aimed at male self-improvement surrounding philosophy, masculinity, wellness, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Takumo. I continue to reshape the modern male reality, giving any man who wishes to pull the very best out of himself a way to do that. Thank you so much for being here, bro. I hope to see you again real soon in my next one. But until then, take it easy. Take good care of yourself. And I love you so much.